Have you ever tried to create your own data types in programming, only to find yourself tangled in compatibility issues? It can be a real headache. If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to derive your own distinct types from int in Perl 6. I totally get it. Defining custom data types that are both distinct and incompatible with each other can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges when trying to enforce type safety. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked how to define two data types in Perl 6, derived from int, but incompatible with each other. They want to create a distance type with a range from 0 to 32,000 and an offset type ranging from negative 32,000 to 32,000. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's the challenge here? The user wants the types distance and offset to be distinguishable and incompatible by default. This means that if they try to mix these types, the Perl 6 compiler should throw an error. Let's break down how we can achieve this. And stick around. At the end, I'll share a neat trick that will help you enforce type safety in your Perl 6 projects. To create distinct types in Perl 6, the user can define two new types, distance and offset, using the class keyword. This allows them to derive from int while ensuring they are incompatible with each other. Next, the user should implement constraints to enforce the ranges for each type. This can be done by overriding the new method in each class to check the values during instantiation. Now, the user can test the functionality by creating instances of distance and offset. They should ensure that mixing these types results in an error as intended. Finally, the user can create a function that accepts only int types. This will help demonstrate that distance and offset cannot be passed implicitly, ensuring type safety. Fun fact, did you know that in some programming languages, creating distinct types is as simple as adding a prefix? But in Perl 6, we get to flex our creativity a bit more. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests creating separate classes for distance and offset to ensure they are distinguishable and incompatible. Each class will have an integer value and methods to enforce their specific ranges. They recommend using a has-a relationship with an integer, allowing you to delegate functionality easily. For those who prefer a specific syntax, the user mentions adding a method to the int class to call the constructor for distance. However, they advise against this as it may lead to confusion, suggesting instead to use the standard constructor. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. An alternative approach to deriving your own distinguishable types from int in Perl 6 is presented by another user. They suggest using the begin block to enforce compile time checks. This method wraps your type definitions and initializations, allowing the compiler to catch errors before runtime. By using this method, any type mismatches will be reported at compile time, ensuring that your distance and offset types remain incompatible with each other and with int. This way, you can avoid runtime errors and maintain type safety in your code. Here's the trick I promised. Always test your types thoroughly. Create unit tests to ensure that your distance and offset types behave as expected and that they remain incompatible. This will save you from headaches down the line. And there you have it. You can now create distinct and incompatible types in Perl 6. Remember, type safety is crucial in programming. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more tips, and don't forget to check out our next video for more advanced Perl 6 techniques.